do. Thoughts and that's a good sign. Oh, talk.
Oh, is it working
Oh,
now?
hey, we can hear you. Hello, everybody. Say hi to Tashiana.
Hello.
Oh, y'all, this is the first time I've tried to do Tashiana. This is the first time I've tried to do Zoom and live at the same time.
Wow.
So I'm gonna do my very best, but y'all, please be gracious. So okay, let's see. Oh man, and now I have to do that share screen thing. Oh, that's gonna stress it out. You know, so I don't remember if it was Sunday or Monday, but I said to my husband, it's hard to be grateful for Monday holidays because they just mess your whole week up. I'm trying to be grateful.
It's nice to have Mondays off, and then it makes Tuesday feel like
Yeah.
Monday, and it's like, well, then
I'm so lost. Yeah. Okay. I lost Tashiana. Are you still there? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, you can. I can't see you, but I'm gonna find you. I will leave the 99. So who's my tech wizard in this class? Because usually there's somebody. Uh-oh. Great. It doesn't take much to be a wizard in my in perspective. So if you can see Tashiana and I can't, tell me where to click, because where did she go? Ooh, I am. Oh, but at home it doesn't. It does here. Man, it's a way to start the class with bad news for me. Why can't I see her? Interesting. Okay, well, hey, Tashiana, I can't see you because I'm sharing the screen, so apparently that's a problem. So if you need to ask something, just like start yelling until till you get our attention, okay? And you'll be like the whole.
Right.
Oh, we heard her. Okay. All right, my friends, Principles Christian Worship. Good, excellent. Let's. I hate the first day. Everybody hates the first day. It's awkward, but we're going to get to know each other pretty quickly. I think we got a good size. This is a great size for this class. This is cool. So let's go. Tell you what. Help me make sure I know how to pronounce your name, because with a name like Jenny Lynn, and that's how you pronounce mine, I have sympathy for. Like, people should be able to have their names pronounced correctly. So make sure I know how to pronounce your name and what you prefer to be called. And then just give me like one word that will help me like connect your face and your name and something as a mnemonic device. Okay? So I'll go first. I'm Jenny Lynn McCaffrey. You're welcome to call me Jenny Lynn. You can also call me Mrs. McCaffrey or Dr. McCaffrey. I like to say I worked really hard for both of those titles, so I'll listen to either one of them. Won't say which one is more work. I've got, it varies from day to day. I have an amazing husband named Adam, who got microchipped yesterday. He's a mental health worker, so he got his first round of the vaccine, I should say, and not joke about it. But we said he got microchipped, so if he runs away, we can find him. He's a counselor with a private practice here in town, and he's an MCC grad, actually, and he's amazing. And then I have two kids. Zach is 11, and he broke his arm 2 nights ago. He was playing basketball. He was so excited to get to play. He made his first shot in a game that night. I mean, in a school game. He'd gotten like one shot in Parks and Rec ball before. And he fell, and we were like, oh, you're fine. And then yesterday, the school nurse called and was like, yeah, I think his arm's broken. So he's in a lime green cast now. And then I have a daughter named Campbell, who is 8, and she's hilarious. She's just a nut. Some of you have gotten to meet her. Others haven't. But she'll probably pop in here at some point. Shoot, I'm supposed to have a word now too, I guess, if I'm playing this game. Microchip. There you go. My husband's been microchipped. He woke up this morning. He told me he was a zombie. I don't, so whatever. So, hey, Tashiana, you're first on my list.
Alrighty.
Oh, there she is. Okay, you're here. So, what do we need to know about you?
My name's Tashiana. I am a
I love how we're
senior.
all.
Will be my last semester.
No way! Congratulations.
Yeah.
Are you sure you've been here that long?
Oh yeah.
No way! That's awesome. Okay, what else do we need to know about you?
I think really that's it. Oh God.
Very good. And who is visiting with you today?
That is Ryder.
Right. Oh, what a cutie. Very cool. That's why I want to find you on the screen again. I guess I can stop. Well, no, because then I won't be able to take roll. All right, Jenna. Jenna? All right, Jenna. Oh, act normal. That's really hard for us. I thought you were taking class. I was so excited.
What class is this?
Principal's Christian Worship.
Oh, yes, I think so.
Yeah, she's already been there, done that.
It's a good class. It is. I enjoyed it.
She knows what she's talking about. All right, Jenna, what do we need to know about you? Or give us a word or whatever.
I really like shoes.
Awesome. Very good. Now, are you from Hugoton? Okay. And I think I'm related to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all by marriage. So, yeah, we're like, I don't even know how you would say what kind of cousins we are, but apparently there's people in our families who are related to each other. And then I was talking to Adam the other day. I was like, I think we have some more Hugoton people around now. And he's like, tell him my grandma probably rocked him in the nursery. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Because you're, yeah, so Burroughs, yeah, that's so cool. Wow.
I call it Midwest cousins, because that's only in Midwest do they go that far down line to know.
Yeah, exactly.
I come visit my grandma and she's like, oh, there's your 5th cousin and your 6th cousin twice removed. And I'm like, okay, I'll trust you.
Yes. It's like either you're in that or you're a Wilson.
Yeah,
And
that's
so.
true. You're either that or part of the Wilson cult.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Steven.
Stefan.
Stefan, so sorry. I've heard about you because people have said, hey, watch out, his name's Stefan, and it looks like Steven, and I forgot. Okay, Stefan. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Stefan. I'm sorry.
And,
Okay.
I'm a triplet.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When's your birthday?
It was a bit ago. It was on the 7th.
Is it on your arm? Oh, watch. Okay. Well, happy birthday to you and your siblings. Identical, fraternal?
Fraternal, but it's weird because like 2 of us are identical.
Oh, no way. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's really odd.
That's, wow. Were you in commercials and stuff growing up? Or?
Yeah, we was in April twice, so.
It seems worth it. Very cool. Stefan. I'm going to mess up, but I'll try really hard. Okay. Savannah.
My name's Savannah Farley, and I just dyed my hair like 2 days ago.
Oh, cool. It's very cute. Did it hurt?
It was kind of itchy, but it was manageable.
Looks cute. I like it. Lola. Not purple this year, this semester. That's how I always remembered you. It looks cute. You wear it, both of you with the really short, you wear it really well.
I'm Lola, and I'm from Nebraska, but I'm always cold.
All right. Very cool. Okay, so cold Lola. Cold Lola. Garrett.
my name's Garrett. I read by spring.
Your first, was it your first year?
Second.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's not Ozarkian at least.
Yeah, I know. 8 months, going great. She's way smarter than me.
It's true.
Don't tell her though.
Oh, she knows.
knows.
She's smart enough to know.
Yeah. And I would say a word for me would be sporadic.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. John, where'd you go? There you are. Oh man, you and Derek look a lot alike with masks on. I don't know that I would ever have said that without masks, but Lord help us all. Okay.
I'm a freshman. My name is John Rhodes. I'm a freshman, and I guess my word would probably be engineering, because that's my course emphasis, and that's what I like to do.
Nice. What kind of engineering are you going to do?
Mechanical.
Very cool. Wow. That is like a world I know nothing. I put air in my tires the other day, and I was really proud of myself. So if that tells you anything. I did it all by myself, too. We got this little like portable compressor that's like lighter than this. I'm like, every car should have one of these. So cool. Very good. So you're here full time now, but you're going to start doing half and half, and then, okay. Very good. So we don't have time for this, but like, what job is that? Like,
There's a lot of different jobs.
okay.
Kind of anything like cars. A lot of that is mechanical.
Oh, okay.
engineering, like working on and designing. And then it can even go to like buildings. You can design buildings and the way they're structured to withstand, like, say a 20-story office building. That takes a mechanical engineer to work on like the structural integrity and stuff like that, of what materials to use.
Wow. That's so cool. I'm glad there's people like you that can think like that and do that job. That's.
If you ever need practice, I have a pretty crappy car.
Oh, that's such a generous offer, Garrett. That's, my niece is really interested in engineering too. And I'm just like, it just seems so huge and overwhelming that, so thank you. Emily.
So my name's Emily. I'm a freshman. I've lived in 6 states.
Holy cow.
I cannot relate to anything with like the families and like, I'm like, that's cool, I guess. I have no idea what that feels like.
It has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
Very good. Corbin.
I'm Corbin. I'm a senior this year. This is my second year in the classical ever, so but my word is
What else did you take with me?
interp.
Oh my gosh, I forgot I taught interp. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you have, were you an interp with me too? That was a while ago.
Yeah, that was freshman year.
Yeah.
Same year as Matheny.
Oh. I thought said may she rest in peace, but that's not quite right. May she teach in peace in Kansas City. Very cool. Oh yeah. So is that, what's your word?
Coffee.
Coffee. Excellent, excellent word. I know where the Keurig is if anybody needs more, because it's mine, but it's in the faculty lounge. And Derek.
Yes, hello, I'm Derek. I don't know, I just started a new job, that's exciting.
Oh yeah, where are you working now?
So I work over at Rolling Hills, with Matt Brown, actually.
Oh no
No,
way.
it was fun. I was actually in his office the other day. He was showing me, he still has all the textbooks from your class, just in his personal library. So we're doing that. So yeah,
That makes me
Is that
proud.
what Topeka?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Did y'all hear his sermon last? Well, of course, if you don't know him, you'd be like, who? You know, a chapel. But he preached one of the last chapel sermons when we were all online. One of the best chapel sermons I've heard here in a long time. It was really good stuff. So, yay, that's awesome. Are you still working at Old Navy? Don't get to say hi when I go pick up my kids' clothes. No, mine. Okay, mine too. All right. Let's talk syllabus. We are going to hit the ground running. This whole like not having Monday to start with thing, we're going to have to hit the ground running. So you actually have stuff due Friday. Yay! But see, your other classes probably don't, and so let's talk here. You got your MCC Online should look something like this. This is the teacher view, not the student view, but it's going to be something along those lines. Let's see what highlights we need to hit from the syllabus. Oh dear, I messed that up. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, all that stuff's on every syllabus. Read it sometime. These are the objectives we're going to work on, but let's get to the heart of it. So, Principles of Christian Worship, this is not a music class. Everybody all right with that, okay? Music is a powerful way to express our worship, but it's not the only way, and we're going to look primarily at the biblical foundations for worship. We're going to articulate a biblical theology of worship, and just look at why we do what we do. What is all this stuff that a lot of us have been doing our whole lives, but why do we do it? Where did it come from? That kind of thing, okay? So That's a really fast way of saying all of that. Make sure that you check your MCC email, because that's the way that your professors communicate with you. So I am under the impression that email is not something people like anymore, but that's just the tool that we have. So make sure you're keeping up with that. We've got, besides a Bible, 3 textbooks. Do y'all have your textbooks? Okay, well, because you got reading due Friday, so hopefully. Which one? This is the one we're going to attack first. Dr. Franklin, good friend of mine, mentor, one of my professors for a long time, wrote this, What the Bible Says About Worship. His story, our response. Super user-friendly guide to the biblical foundations for worship. It's got discussion questions at the end. It's got good meat, but in a really digestible way. Since I said meat, I guess I'll say digestible. So we're going to start with this one. Then we move to Constance Cherry's little tiny book, Worship Like Jesus. She was my dissertation advisor, actually. Brilliant teacher. And this is very, very practical. This is probably, it raises good questions, but both of these actually would, I think, make really good like small group studies at a church. They're not so academic that they're not accessible for anybody who's just open to learning more about why we do what we do. Okay? And then we also have, this tells you so much with this nice blank cover here, James Smith's book, You Are What You Love. Has anybody read this one yet? Okay, this used to be part of the first systematic theology class, or whatever we call it now. Fantastic book. This one will make your brain hurt. I've read it several semesters in a row trying to be ready for this class, and it will make your brain hurt, but in a really good way. His premise is that you are what you love, and you don't really realize what you love sometimes. And so it ties in with worship. We worship what we love, but we don't always recognize that we're worshiping it. So we'll spend some time trying to chew on this and unpack it. So make sure you get a hold of those. I know for sure that Dr. Franklin's book's available in the library, for 99% sure. I doubt that this one is, because this one came out since we've had budget freezes and can't buy any more books. So I'm guessing it's not available. But last semester's class used it, so there's going to be people on campus who have it. If you don't have access to it by the time you need to read it for class, you're welcome to come to my office and just camp out and read it. I only have one copy, or I would let you take it, but since I only have one copy, I would need you to just kind of camp out. And this one's all over the place. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is, don't tell me I didn't have my book. That's not an excuse for not getting the reading done. Okay, that was my attendance policy. You got to come to class and be here. All right. If you're not going to be here, all you got to do is let me know before class starts. Okay. You can text me. You can email me. You can stop by and let me know. But I realize stuff's going to come up. Sometimes you just need to not be here, and that's okay. So make sure you let me know before class starts, partly because in the real world, that's what you do. You don't just not show up in the real world, and it's just good manners, okay? Develops good habits. And then depending on, so what's in the syllabus is that if you're not here, you have to do makeup work to make up for what you missed, because everybody else was in here working and you weren't. That's the letter of the law. Touch base with me before you do that, though, because depending on where we are topic-wise and things like that, this says just find something about the topic and read it and write about it. With this class, I've taught this class enough, and we've had enough Zoom issues and stuff like that, that I have a lot of stuff recorded already, so I may be able to just say, hey, I get it, you've got to go, to this internship thing, blah, 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 whatever it is. Watch this video and you'll be pretty much caught up. So just stay in communication with me and we'll be fine. Unexcused absences are 2% off your grade. So again, make sure you tell me beforehand, and then we can work out the details later, but have the good manners to tell me beforehand. If you miss a quiz or an exam or an in-class assignment and it's an unexcused absence, that's a 0. Come to class on time, stay awake. I generally wake people up if they sleep in my class. So one semester I had, like, in the same semester on my T-vals, one person was like, I think that's good that she wakes people up when they fall asleep. And somebody else was like, she shouldn't wake people up when they fall asleep because that's embarrassing. I'm like, you can't win. So just stay awake. I get that that's hard sometimes too. 9 or more absences for any reason will result in failure of the course. Essentially, that's 3 weeks worth of class. Obviously, we are in a strange time. Stay in communication, okay? I hate that we have to talk about academic integrity. I used to be naive enough to think that we didn't need to talk about academic integrity here, but that naiveness wore off really quick. Do your own work. If you're borrowing somebody's words or ideas, give them credit for it. That's just honesty. You've paid a lot of money to take this class, so you might as well get as much out of it as you can. And so don't turn stuff in that's somebody else's. If you have a documented disability, make sure that our study skills, basically that Terry Aubrey knows about that, and then we'll do whatever we need to help accommodate. All right, so here's what we're going to do in class. Every Friday, you're going to have reading due, and you're going to have small group discussions that you'll rotate leadership of those readings. I've changed up the system a little bit, so if you've talked to somebody who took this last semester, it's different from how it was last semester. I'm experimenting with this a little bit more. So let's just go ahead and look at that, because that's what you have for Friday. Tashiana, you still in there? We lost her. Video ban. We can see her if she comes back. Okay, so, hey, there she is. I knew she was in there somewhere. I can see you now. Now I don't have to worry so much about you. All right, so before Friday, what you're going to do is open up this lovely assignment. You're going to read the introduction and chapters 1 and 2 out of Dr. Franklin's book. Download this document and save it to your own computer. And then you're going to fill in your name, and then you're just going to fill this chart in, okay? This should be not that difficult, just a way to help you engage in the reading and then prepare you to be able to engage with your group in the reading. So, did you read it? 50 points. Did you actually try to understand it while you were reading it, or did your eyes just go across the pages? Hey, take the 50 points for the reading, even if you had to skim, okay? But, and this is totally obviously on the honor system. I can't do anything to police that, so I'm going to have to trust your academic integrity. Pick a quote from the chapter, type it there, put the page number and the location so that when you're trying to remember why in the world you chose that quote, you can go back and see the context. Summarize a sentence. Hey, I did teach interp. We're going to steal a sentence from interp here. The author wants, in this case, her audience to, and then you summarize a sentence. So what is her exegetical main point for writing this chapter? And then in both of these books, we do have discussion questions at the end of each chapter. So pick one of those and type it, and then pick another one and type it. And that way you've got some questions that your group is ready to discuss. Oh, and then you do the same thing for chapter 2, because you got 2 chapters due. That's why that's there twice. Make sense? Upload that to MCC Online. Then, when we come to class on Friday, there's the word I'm looking for. We will see that our group leaders are going to be Emily, Derek, and Corbin. So, y'all really have to make sure you read your stuff that day. And I will provide for you a printed copy, come back, of this in-class evaluation form. And this is just an accountability tool. So it'll be front and back. So if you're the group leader, you'll fill out the front that says leader. and just say, I was ready or I wasn't, okay? You're gonna have to grade yourself well on how you encouraged people to participate, how you facilitated the conversation, how you were respectful, managed time. And then you also get to say whether your group members' discussion participation was satisfactory or not, okay? And was it genuinely fruitful? Very kinda, I guess, not really, not at all. And then you bring me that piece of paper back so I can give you points.
So are we doing this during class time outside of class, or is this?
So I want everybody to come to class, and then you're welcome to scatter, and then come back with those sheets. Does that make sense? If you're a group member that day, you're going to evaluate your leader. Okay? Make sense? So every week it's like 300 points worth of stuff. So do your reading, engage with it, because if I'm going to give up that many class days, I want to make sure that it really is fruitful. So hopefully this stuff will help prepare you for a fruitful discussion rather than everybody sitting around going, you know, okay? Because we've all been in those group discussions as well. The groups are on here. So Emily, Tashiana, and Savannah, y'all are together. Corbin, Stefan, and Garrett are together. And then here's my mixed group right here. Right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got girls, guys, and a mixed group. Questions about that process? Since that starts Friday, what questions do you have?
3 of us are leading together, or we're each taking a group?
So, like the first week,
Yeah.
group 1 will meet together and Emily will be their leader.
Okay.
The second week, Tashiana will be the leader. The third week, Savannah will be the leader. And I have a thing that shows all of those. Actually, the course schedule, I think, tells who the leaders are.
That makes sense then.
Does that make sense? So your group is going to stay together all semester unless all hell breaks loose. See, I didn't say anything bad that way. And then, but generally that works out pretty well. So then, yeah, the next week we've got Tashiana, Jenna, and Stefan are going to be the leaders. So that rotates, and your responsibilities rotate. Okay? It's still, I've only done this for like 3 or 4 semesters, but it has seemed to be pretty fruitful. Up until then, the reading has always just kind of been off to the side of the class, and so I think it's helped us just draw some more out from the reading. So, okay, any other questions on that? Sweet. Oh, we got 20 whole minutes. We got nothing but time. Where'd my syllabus go? I don't have too many things open. All right, so that's the textbook reading. You're also going to do another book for me, but this one you get to choose the book. And the topic of this one is going to be spiritual disciplines or personal worship. Very much a part of what worship is, absolutely. But this class, the content of the in-class stuff focuses primarily on corporate worship. But I don't want us to completely neglect personal worship or spiritual disciplines. So this is going to be one way that you can interact with learning more about what those are and how to apply them to your life. So you're going to pick a book. You get to pace how you read it. But then I think it starts a week from Friday. You're going to do a journal entry, and you'll have to figure out, I used to say 1 journal entry for every chapter, but then somebody would have like 24 chapters and somebody would have 6, and that was just confusing. So pace it out to 10 journal entries, okay? About 300-ish words, 250 to 400 words is what we're looking for. And I want to make sure, just make sure that you run your book choice by me so that I can help you decide whether or not it fits the objectives of what we're trying to do. Some choices. If you're interested in an overview of spiritual disciplines, like 1 chapter about fasting, 1 chapter about solitude, 1 chapter about celebration, that kind of thing, the 2 I would recommend, actually I guess those top 3 on there, I don't have Renovation of the Heart in my hands. The Life You've Always Wanted by John Ortberg, or Celebration of Discipline by Richard Foster. Celebration of Discipline is actually considered a classic. It was written in the 1970s, which I don't think is old enough to be thought of as a classic personally. But this book is so good that even though it's very young, it is still considered a classic. So excellent, excellent work from Dr. Foster here. Dallas Willard's Renovation of the Heart would be similar in style. I haven't read it, but it's a similar in style. John Ortberg's The Life You've Always Wanted, think of it this way. If this is New American Standard Version of the Bible, this would be the Message. Okay? So it's just a stylistic difference. The content's going to be very, very similar, but just a stylistic difference in how they write. Okay? I highly recommend all three of them, just what you gravitate towards.
Do you compare physical journal or online, like
Oh, that's a great question. I actually have a workbook online, a journal workbook online for you so that you can just upload that time after time. That helps my TA be able to know if you're hitting the word count pretty close. So yeah, that's online with the assignment. Thanks for asking that. And you'll upload your whole workbook every time. So the first week there's only going to be one journal entry and a bunch of empty ones, and we'll go from there. I didn't think that was hard, but I've had some semesters where people are like, what now? If you are interested in historic practices of worship, if you're open to some more liturgical things that might be outside of the little Christian church bubble, The Sacred Way by Tony Jones is a great place to explore those. Some things like guided meditation, praying centering prayers, praying the Jesus prayer, some stuff that I'm so embedded in my upbringing that I'm still like, whoa, is this okay? And I'm like, this is awesome at the same time. Okay, so if you're interested in that, if you're open to that, his would be a great book. Knowledge of the Holy by A.W. Tozer has been a very popular choice for the book. This one is all about God. It's not so much about practices, okay? And while we're on Star Wars quotes, what is it? Yoda says, judge me by my size, do you? Okay? I think that's why a lot of people choose this. This book is little, it is heavy, okay? This is a tough read, but holy cow, it's a fantastic book, okay? I need to reread this one. It is so good. But talk about making your brain hurt. Fantastic choice if you're willing to let him really get inside your head and mess with you a little bit. Great choice. What else? Oh, Liturgy of the Ordinary. I couldn't find my copy. Liturgy of the Ordinary. I call it the peanut butter and jelly book because there's a picture of peanut butter and jelly on the cover. So what she does is takes classic historic worship acts. So some personal, like fasting, I think, or some things like that, but also some more corporate, like baptism or the Lord's Supper. And she shows how our lives can be helping us live that out. So her chapters are things like making the bed, how making the bed can be a spiritual discipline. And you're like, what now? Blew me away. Okay. Brushing our teeth, how brushing our teeth is actually us fighting off death. What? And it sounds like a stretch, but you read it and you're like, dang, I got to make sure I do that, right? And so she's taking us through these things that we all do, but helping us infuse them with depth in our relationship with God. She's got a chapter on losing her car keys, a chapter on fighting with her husband, and you may have to make, some roommate, whatever it is. But it is so real. It takes these lofty things that we can theologize and think about and write papers about, and she just makes it so real. And so that one's been very well received by students who've read it. This is like a whole different ball game. This is Chasing Francis is actually a novel, so it's fiction about a megachurch pastor who has a crisis of faith in the pulpit while he's preaching. Really bad timing to have your crisis of faith, okay? But because it's a novel, he has an uncle who's a monk in Italy, and he gets to go have a sabbatical in Italy with his uncle who's a monk. And so he explores a lot of historic Christian practices and gets to know the writings of St. Francis of Assisi. That's the Francis here. So really, it's just so good. Several of these, let me be careful how I say that. I know this one. If y'all have a Manhattan Public Library card, they have an app called Hoopla, and they have a lot of these a lot of Christian books on audiobook. And so if that's your learning style, go for it. If you're interested in doing, let's see who else. Henry Nouwen, anything by Henry Nouwen. Eugene Peterson. Just run it by me first. If you're interested in doing a deeper dive on an individual practice, I just had a book recommended to me on prayer. I can't remember if it's Eugene Peterson or Richard Foster, but it looks phenomenal. Haven't read it yet. So if that's one that you're interested in digging deeper in. And I'm actually listening to a book right now on the spiritual discipline of chastity, which sounds like worship class. Can we talk about that? Yeah, we can. And so she talks about how our sexuality is embedded and intertwined with our worship lives. Fascinating story. She started researching and writing it as a single person and didn't have any like prospects on the horizon. And she actually got married in the process of researching and writing it. So when I started listening to it, I thought it was written specifically to singles, but it's been I can see applicable both directions. Haven't finished it yet, so I can't recommend the whole thing, but what I've listened to so far, really good. So if you're interested in one of those, I can get you details on those. Other books, just run it by me first, okay? Questions about that stuff? Is anything starting to spark your attention? Like, ooh, I might want to do that one. Garrett, what's yours?
There's a few of them. The Sacred Way sounds really good, but I also like the Liturgy of the Ordinary because I just think it's fun I think the little things are really fun that kind of pass by your mind in your day-to-day life. I think that sometimes those are the best reminders and the best way to learn how to have a fluent relationship throughout your day with God.
Yeah.
So, knowing those little things, whether they're sound absurd or not, it's a good reminder. It's like your favorite smell or your taste.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I think that one is also available in audiobook through the public library. Most of it, there are certainly books in our library that will fit these qualifications, so you don't have to go buy something. If you run into trouble finding something, let me know, because I may have a copy I can loan you for the semester, or I may know a way that you can get it without having to shell out more money than you already have. Anybody else find yourself gravitating towards any of these? It's all right if not. Just make sure that you decide before Monday, because there's a cute little syllabus quiz. Has really hard questions like, did you read the syllabus? And that gives you a chance to tell me what your book choice is. Academic integrity, please choose something you haven't already read. Okay. Please choose something that you're not currently required to read for another class. Don't try to get a double whammy out of it, okay? Take the time to pick something that will be in addition to what you're already doing, okay? Going to do a couple of church visits, and we're going to spend a whole day in class talking about how to prep for those, so don't stress about that right now. One thing I'll tell you right off the bat is that there are opportunities for these visits outside of Sunday, so if you have an ongoing Sunday commitment, this does not have to interfere with that. We're going to write a biblical theology of worship, and I'm going to take you step by step through that. Oh, make sure you do that one, because apparently the syllabus says if you don't, you won't pass the class, even if you have enough points. And then we're going to do some type of work with corporate worship. I like to do group projects with that. Let's just see how the semester plays out before we commit to whether that's going to be group or individual. I fully understand. This was in my Facebook memories today. I'm like, oh, what a great day for it. The beauty of group projects, what they're supposed to teach you and what they actually teach you, trust no one. I hate group projects. I hated them as a student. I am not crazy about them as a professor, but the reason I keep coming back to them is that after I graduated, I found out life is just one great big group project. And there's a lot of trust no one in that too. But we might as well practice while we got a safe place to do it. You're going to do some scripture memorization for me. That will be fill in the blank from the Common English Bible translation, relatively new translation. All of those quizzes, the exact formatting is already on MCC Online. Like with every blank, there are no tricks. Okay, so you can study exactly what I'm going to hand you when you come to class. If you prefer to do a different translation, like Psalm 23, for example, I get that I think it's good for us to try to memorize in a new translation. This is killing me because I have worked with these passages in NIV my whole life, and but I think it's good for our brains and for our hearts. But if there's one that you want to do a different translation, just make arrangements with me before it's due and we'll figure out something. Okay? Fair enough. We've got 2 tests scheduled besides the scripture memory. We may do both of them. We may do one. We may, we'll see how things go. But I have this nice at the professor's discretion caveat in there. So if I feel like we're like losing it, I'll start throwing pop quizzes at you, like all kinds of stuff. But I don't anticipate that being an issue. I'm excited about the makeup of this class. Come to class, act like Christian adults. Fair enough. Be respectful to each other. There's how assignments are weighted. There's the grading policy. No late work. No late work, no late work. Get it in on time. Assignments close when they're due. So make sure you get your stuff in on time. If you have a significant extenuating circumstance, talk to me before it's due. I'm much more likely to be able to provide some flexibility if you talk to me before it's due. If you talk to me after it's due, I'm going to say, why didn't you talk to me about this before it was due, like we talked about on syllabus day, okay? Help me out. What are some examples of legitimate extenuating circumstances? Illness. Like, I didn't feel well. No, like illness, okay? If you're quarantined, I expect your stuff to be in early, okay? Because you got nothing else to do. If you're actually sick in the quarantine, that's a different story, okay? Death in the family. I mean, your own death would probably also mess up your grade. And also your perspective, like, grades, who cares?
Would you pass me out of kindness if I died?
I'd have to look at the grade book at that point, I mean, I try not to round up or down, so we'd have to see. Yeah, but like genuine illness. My laptop crashed and I was trying to upload it 5 minutes beforehand. Man, that sucks. Sorry. Okay, so plan ahead. I forgot. Doesn't count. Okay. Communicate with me though. Talk to me beforehand. I promise your professors and we don't get together and make everything due at the same time. I know it seems like that every semester. We don't have that kind of time to collaborate like that, okay? But if stuff's piling up, this is small class. Talk to me, okay? But beforehand. Please leave your phones and your computers somewhere else during this class. I'm going to ask you, it's a really countercultural thing to ask you to do, but I think it's a good discipline for us. I put all my PowerPoint stuff on MCC Online because I would rather us be able to engage with what we're talking about than for you to try to write down a quote because you're like, oh, I want to remember that. I'll give it to you later, okay? I'll give you handouts. You can use the handouts if you want them. For some people, that helps them stay focused. Other people think it's annoying. Just throw it away. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I have in this class in the past offered bonus points. Like if you want to put your phone over here on the table, do y'all want bonus points for putting your phone away? Okay, I can do that. So I'll what you have to you just drop it off here and you just like put your initials on it as a integrity thing, whatever. Sorry, Tashiana, I can't help you on that one. I don't know how to help that. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, and if you're like, my mom's supposed to have surgery, keep your phone with you. And then when they call, just step out and answer it like a polite person. Okay. But don't sit there and text and act like we can't see you because we can. And do you guys follow the MCC memes account on Instagram? I was so gratified last night when I saw that one of those was turn your computer off during class. It's not just me that it annoys when people play Tetris during class. It's students too. Okay, so leave all that stuff. You don't need it in this class. If there's if you have something going on, talk to me. Okay, but general rule of thumb is just don't do that. All right, what else do you need to know? I think that's about it. That's not too much, right? All right, really fast, because this reveals some fun information. Do not think too hard about this. This just helps me get to know you as people and kind of what your expectations when you think about worship are. And that helps me kind of steer where we're going. Well, let's see, Tashiana. I'm going to email you a copy of this form real quick. It's just a getting to know you form. Oh, let's stop sharing the screen. Don't read my email. If you know each other well, feel free to fill it out for each other. All right, if you're not to the back yet, go ahead and skip whatever's left on the front and flip to the back. Oh, there's a back. Oh, yes.
What is corporate worship? And that's probably a stupid
It's a
question.
great question. It's worship that we do together and not by ourselves. Yeah, that's a fast answer. Sure. Great question. Thanks for asking. And it's spelled different than cooperate, everybody. Two whole different words. All right, we're out of time. So let me have what you got. I mean, if you want to take it back and bring it, you're welcome to, but it's really not that important. And if you have any questions between now and Friday, let me know. But otherwise, we'll start together in here on Friday, ready to do those reading groups, okay? Go in peace, love, and serve the Lord.
I like finishing work. It just feels weird now. It's like, now that it's on.
John, do you go to Crestview?
Yes.
Okay, that's. I thought there was some connection outside of here.
Since I've like come to MCC, I've kind of been trying new churches out. So I'm
Sure.
actually going to one in St. George now.
Oh, cool.
Which is probably 20 minutes away. But
Which church are you going to in St. George?
it's what's it called? I'm gonna forget the name. Lighthouse Baptist Church.
Oh, okay, very
Yeah,
good.
It's kind of a Southern Baptist style
Cool.
church. Yeah.
Good. Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
So, do you still have family at Crestview?
My family hasn't been going because of COVID.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mine
yeah,
hasn't either, so I don't know why I'm even asking. Like, no wonder I never see anybody anymore.